And we're live. We're live all the way from Czech Republic, and we're at the Katarina Resort, which is about an hour and a half outside. It's an Ayurvedic resort. Unbelievable. I'm going to show you around this property as we're here over the next couple of days. But I mean, it is life-changing. You can just see the background here. And I'm out right on the edge of a pond here. It's super cool. So if you can do me a favor, put a comment in and say how you're feeling today. I've been traveling for 24 hours. And also give me a couple likes over here. Yeah, right there. Justin Creation, thank you. And give me a bunch of likes over here, and then hit that button, send it out to a friend so we can affect this right here. We don't get a natural algorithm when we're out here, so the more that you do this, the more that this starts to go. Got a migraine. Following you, hey, how you doing? Yeah, today's the Grandmaster Gemini day, and today's the day that you're going to be thinking about stuff and communicating. Have you had communication issues lately? I can tell you I have. Hi, Sheena.
Hi, Garry. How are you?
I'm doing
How's
fantastic.
my
So,
sound? Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So Sheena, can you tell everybody a little bit about who you are? First of all, we'd like to know your birthday, and then I want to know about Raw Republic, and then why you do it.
My birthday is August 1st. Do you need to know the year? It's 1988. Why not?
Yeah,
Um,
12-degree Leo. So you are
yes.
like a Sagittarius in a Leo body.
Explain that to me in terms of the way that I operate.
For you, it's all about belief. You're always a student and always a
Yes.
teacher. You're always
Yep.
trying to find things for people and push through boundaries and bring things back. So you're leading the charge in every situation.
Um, it's funny that we're talking about Raw Republic and we started there because that is totally the mission with Raw Republic. It's always just been to provide people with resources so that they can help themselves and make and show them the expanded opportunity that they have to do so. So many people are coming from a limited perspective of what's possible in terms of like their healing and transformation. Raw Republic's mission is to show them, you don't necessarily have to do it this way, but there's this entire spectrum of things that you can do that might resonate with you that could move the needle. And it's
So
like
what is Raw Republic for somebody who doesn't know? And where are you?
Raw Republic is a cold pressed juice company and wellness shop. We also have some online information and media through my podcast, which is Raw Talk with Sheena. Raw Republic, the juice companies, are located in New Orleans and Austin.
Right. And
Yes.
you have quite the story how you got into this. And first of all, I love the mission because you're not just, a lot of people set up a juice company to deliver healthy juices to people, but you're actually here to help people transform the way they feel, which is very similar to our mission. And that's why I believe we were attracted to you.
Yes. I think that a lot of times founders stay so fervently behind what they believe is right for everyone. And I think that that can really limit the consumer's ability to navigate through the business. We've been in business for 10 years, and I think that it's because we've been able to go beyond our perspectives of what is right and provide resources, information, supplements, and products that are not one channel, if that makes sense, while staying
Yeah,
true
for
to
sure.
the fact that like every juice product that we make is 100% organic, is pressed on a cold press machine, is not pasteurized, is living. Like that's our base foundation of how we select our products, is to create like that sense of, okay, we can go many different ways, but like that quality foundation is a part of everything that we do.
So what's the difference between cold pressed and then a normal juice, like with a spinner, with I guess they spin them, right?
So a centrifugal juicer, which is like your Breville juice fountain at home, a lot of at-home juicers, a lot of juicers that you get in a plastic cup with a straw. Actually, all juices that you get in a plastic cup with a straw are generally pressed on a centrifuge. So the fruits and vegetables are sort of spun very quickly. The blade gets really hot, and the juice that's pressed is oftentimes then a little bit warm, so that oxygenation creates oxidation, and the heat sort of degrades the ability for the juice to retain its nutritional value and its enzymatic activity, which is what we're looking for if we're drinking raw juice. And that being said, when I learned how to juice, I was juicing on a centrifuge in New York. I made some of the best juice ever. If you're going to drink it immediately, it's pretty nominal, the difference.
Right.
But if you are, the way that we juice at Raw Republic on a cold press is done in batches and is intended to retain its vitality for 72 hours. Because there's no heat exposure, because there's no oxygen exposure, it's created in a contained environment and it's refrigerated throughout the process. So it's a slight preservation without using any heat, pressure, or light to preserve. It's still in its raw state and still very vital through that process.
So that's a good point. So if you are using a centrifuge, like a Breville or something like that, as long as you're drinking it right away, it's good.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I always tell people, like, if you're super excited about juicing, just make sure you're using organic fruits and vegetables, and whichever way is most accessible to you, go for it. I of course like my juice the best, and that's why I created the store in the setup that I did. But I drink all types of juice and always have. I've loved the juicing business and industry and the mission behind a lot of the founders of juice companies, and so I'm a big customer and supporter of a lot of different juice companies.
So what was it that got you onto this journey? Like, how did you guys get involved? Because you've been involved, but you've been doing this for 10 years, right?
We had our 10-year anniversary last year for our New Orleans store. Crazy
Okay,
to
so
think
10 years
about.
ago, what did you do? Like, why did you do this?
Yeah. I think with every mission, Gary, you can kind of like trace it back to your birth almost. So not going too far past the 10 years, my dad passed away of a cancer that was similar to a pancreatic cancer. It was called cholangiocarcinoma. During that time, I started feeling invigorated about the options and possibilities outside of the method of choice that he was using for his own healing. So I started doing my own research. I knew that it wasn't something that was going to be in alignment with him, but I started seeing centers in Mexico that were juicing and doing IV nutrition and green juices and colonics, and I just became invigorated about the possibilities of that. And so I signed up to complete a health coaching certification. And at the same time, I started then applying it to my own experience, which was that since puberty, I had had irregular periods and irregular hormones. And so I was very frustrated with the medical response of that. Let's just put a Band-Aid of birth control and antibiotics on you indefinitely, which wasn't working, which didn't make me feel good, all those things. So the idea of nutrition becoming like a place where this actually feels good to explore. I'm curious about it. It's enlivening me from a cellular level. I'm feeling like I have now control over my own health and decisions, and I don't have to rely on a process and a system that I don't believe in anymore. So it started empowering me, and then I studied the juicing business in New York, and I saw that there was an opportunity in Louisiana to bring a really high value quality product to that community, which had very, very little at that time. When I was living in Louisiana, there wasn't even a place I could find a green smoothie to just like test out some of these recipes, like a green smoothie or a green juice. No one had juicers at that time. It was like, yeah, it was very interesting playground to begin.
So, I mean, the obvious is stated, you don't look 36. You look 26.
I have to remind myself every day how old I am. I never think about it. hydration is key. I talk, people ask me about this all. People have said, you know, people love to gossip, and I used to have a healing center above Raw Republic for meditations and services and things like that. And people used to always gossip about me and just say like, all those injections in her face and all the Botox, like I've never had anything injected in my face ever once. And I don't think I'm the most beautiful person, but I'm just saying that effect definitely is a side effect of being hydrated, having minerals, having living, breathing fruits and vegetables in my system all the time. And when we talk about hydration, Garry, we're also, you know, we need to recognize the fact that like a lot of the water that we're drinking is not able to hydrate us because it's not in its natural form. It's
Yeah.
not moving through a stream. It doesn't have its natural mineral content from the ground anymore. And so a way to find hydration that is in its perfect form is from fruits and vegetables because it's still contained in the way that nature has created it, so that the body recognizes and can absorb and can utilize all of the aspects of that fruit and
You
vegetable
know,
in a perfect
we
way
we
because the
tell
body knows
people
what to do.
we tell
Go
people
ahead.
not to drink H2O
Yeah. Isn't that
because
hilarious?
H2O, yeah, H2O is a solvent,
Yeah.
and when we drink a solvent, it takes all of the minerals and all the good stuff out of us. And this is why juicing is, I mean, like getting a coconut juice directly, you have structured water, or I mean, we
Yes.
use an ionizer to get structured water, which makes a massive difference. But I find that in my journey, I tend to drink a lot less water today, and I eat a lot of my water,
Yep.
or when I have available, I drink a lot of natural juices.
Yes. Can you tell me as well in your practice, like how you're seeing that shift someone like who's used to drinking or eating um, dead food, how like they're sort of transitioning to more living fruits and vegetables and how that's sort of changing them and their ability to move their fascia potentially?
Well, I think the best way is you just look at us. We've documented every moment of our life since 2020 online, and we've done that because, I mean, even we've documented every single conversation that we've had with anybody since 2020. And
Wow.
we've done that, and we make that stuff available in our level 2 program to anybody who wants to see everything, even the arguments we've had. But what that's done is it's taken away the ability for somebody to be skeptical. Because what we have is we've been very clear about how we live and what we do. And right now people exogenously have to take silica as a general rule, unless they are really hyper vigilant, and not like virtually nobody is, because of the chemicals that are in the sky, chemicals that are in our food, chemicals that are in our clothing products and stuff like that. But what I've noticed is the biggest difference is that when people start drinking structured water, or when they start drinking raw organic juices on a regular basis, and they diminish normal water intake, their skin becomes very hydrated and elastic. And you can notice it within the first 30 days. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. I also think, you know, we go pendulum swing, like we just have this,
Yeah.
humans just have this capacity to go from this side to this side. And so there's this camp saying, you know, don't eat fruits and vegetables, they're trying to kill you. And then this camp that's saying, you know, live off of fruits and vegetables. And I think like somewhere in the in between is where a lot of people are just seeing like, you know, sometimes you definitely, you need cooked food sometimes, like your digestion is slower. So like being the advocate that you need for you, really helps to move your health in the direction that you're seeking. As soon as you give your power to someone else and saying like, this is what you need to be doing, this is the way, the truth, the light, you lose your ability to navigate that system in a way that's truly right for you.
I,
And
I
I think
really
that's
know
the heart
why
of our mission.
I, I really know why we're together, because that's something I say to people every single day. And You don't hear a lot of people in the food industry say that. They're in the food or juice industry. You see a lot of people say you got to do it this way, and you know if you biooptimizers, Wade Lightheart, um, is one of the most researched people on the planet when it comes to enzymatic function, and he, in his book, The Nutrition Bible, he explains, and we have several lives that we've talked about this, where human beings as a species, how we started eating raw food and then we moved to cooked food. And it took us a few generations to properly adapt to it because the enzymes that our body needed had to adapt to it. And for people who are listening out there, the difference in cooking food and not cooking food is simply this. Well, one of the primary differences, if you have an uncooked food, the food itself, like especially the juice, has enzymes in it. Those enzymes help your body process, and our body uses 80% of its energy to digest, process, and eliminate food. So if you can take out 30–40% of that energy by giving your body the natural enzymes already there, and those enzymes are paired for what it is that you're consuming.
Yes.
Well, now, once you cook it, then your body has to produce all of the enzymes in order for you to be able to digest and process properly. And today, in today's world, most people are not digesting and processing properly. And even the ones that are healthy are not at this point because there's so many environmental and daily stressors in our life. You know, I was saying this at our events. I was saying that everybody wants our attention. They want us to be at tension. And when we got an iPhone, we got a pad, we got work, we got traffic, we're at tension. And when we're at tension, the body's actually in stress. That's the whole goal of being at tension. So attention is stress, and everything is drawing our attention right now, and it's dysregulating the human fluid adaptive biological computing system because we're not designed to be to have our attention drawn away that much. So it's death by 1,000 cuts, and I really think that simple little things that people can do, like right now, if you come out of nutrition school or medical school, they're teaching you that the human body is between 60 and 65% water. That's the current status of human beings on the planet Earth today. And just 20 years ago, it was clearly 70%. And if you go back way a long time ago, it was 80% if you go back 60 to 70 years ago. So we're becoming gradually dehydrated. And when people drink raw juices as a part of their supplementing routine, they can actually start to target things in their body where they need help. Like if you're having a lot of stress, and if you're maybe even eating foods that aren't good for you, you can use beet juice as an example to help clear out the toxins in the liver, help the liver function a bit better. There's a whole bunch of different remedies that people can go and get. Now, you actually tell people some of the remedies that they can get in your education series, right?
I used to say, this juice is great for this juice is great for this. I have to now say that I've experienced this through this juice because again, like giving people the right to experience on their own what is right for them. The education is out there, Gary. There's so much information about fruits and vegetables. Like, know what celery juice does at this point, right?
Yeah.
So it's up to you now to decide, like, am I going to do this?
There's a couple 100,000 other people who've done our programs.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So, and again, I want to be that big resource that is not forcing people down a particular direction. So I try to be really soft and gentle about what I believe our products are capable of, because I know that people are just going to be attracted to them when it's right for them, and they'll know how to navigate it. I used to tell people, actually, when we first opened our store, I used to tell people to stand in front of our beautiful, colorful refrigerator and to see which color was drawing them in.
Right.
To use the color
very, very
and
important.
the vibration of the juices to make their decision. And I think that was really the best way. That was how they could use healing, so that they weren't using their brain. They were using something inside of them that was drawing them to that particular color, that was generally perhaps speaking to an organ that needed support, or an emotion that needed to be addressed. That was the way that I sort of got people out of their brain and into their body.
Yeah, that's actually really important because what happens is our reticular activating system on our brain, what it does is it learns what we need in the environment. And when we don't work on rules, when we work on intuition, which we've taken away because we develop habits. Like I do this every day. Like I drink this one thing every day. I eat this
Yeah.
one thing every day. That's not how the body works, as you know. And what we are called to is naturally, intuitively what we need. And where it gets a little messy though is when we put chemicals in there. Chemicals give us a false sense of what we're being called to.
Yes. Yes.
So,
I think that's a really good point.
so I mean, first of all, you took care of us and our team and our people while we were in Austin, which I really, really appreciate. And that's why I want to get to know you more because, first of all, I can tell the difference. I mean, I'm very sensitive to what I put in my body. I could tell the difference in your juices than other even raw juices that I have drinking all over the country. And I really believe that it's the intention that you put into it.
Thank you, Gary. I believe that as well. I think that our mission to support people and to heal people and to give people opportunities to heal themselves in whatever format that looks like, and sort of like letting go of the reins from there, I think that really speaks to our product. Because that, like, when you can do this, that's a motion of unconditional love. I trust you enough to do what's right for you. Doesn't matter what the response is for me. It's important that you do what's right for you. And here we are offering what we have to offer in the best possible we can. And it's up to you from that point on. So I appreciate that you could feel that and see that in our juices.
Well, I think there's part of it is there's a lot of education, and I'd like to continue to educate the audience a little bit over time, and do a podcast or two, and get down into it because it's like a lot of things that are good for you and a lot of things that we should be doing. There's a lot of polarization. I mean, there's questions on here today, which we won't get to today, but we'll get to in a podcast, which are like what's the difference between a juicer and a Vitamix?
Great.
How does your body process? Those are great questions, and we
Yes.
want people to have real answers that they can trust. Because I know even for me, I have grown up in the health industry. Even when I was not working in the health industry, I grew up around it, and it's confusing. It's polarized.
Right. It is. And I think, providing people with the information from a place where you have an intention, I have an intention to support people's healing, people can then gauge our frequency and say, like, is this information right for me? And from there, we provide the information that we believe in. Does it mean that it's always right? It's going to pass every single test. It's going to be, data supported. Maybe, maybe not. But if it's aligned with your frequency and it's what you're personally choosing to consume, whether that's information or juice, then hopefully we have a better chance of it working for you and making a difference in your life.
So what's the best way for people to engage with you outside of the store? I mean, you got two locations, Austin and my brain went. Louisiana.
New Orleans.
Oh, New Orleans. New Orleans. My brain went. You got two
Yeah.
locations. So what's the best way that people can engage with you?
So I'm logged in here at Raw Republic Juice. This is our store Instagram. I have a personal Instagram, and I also have my podcast, which is Raw Talk with Sheena, and that's available on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, anywhere you can hear podcasts.
Cool. You know what's funny? We have resisted doing a podcast. We are actually starting one up now for the first time. So so I will pull you on our podcast because it's a lot of work to properly run it. So we're taking the deep plunge, and we're going to be doing that. That's also part of me getting rid of or stopping the lives that I used to do every day for the last year and a half or 2 years.
Yes, I think it's just a great way for people to absorb people are resonating with you. They want more of what you are in tangible form. A podcast is a way for them to feel that, absorb that, feel that, and be transformed by it. So I'm here to help too if you need help with the podcast. But you guys got this for
Absolutely.
sure.
And I'd love to do it in person because I'd love to actually go through the process of making juice. That would be fun.
That would be super fun. Yes. When's the next time Human Garage will be in Austin?
You know, I don't know, but we will be we're going to be in California September 21st. And
Okay.
yeah, and we'll contact before, or we'll talk before then because maybe have you come out there and we could do it out there. We're going to be doing the podcast because we're on the road for 1 year straight, so we're going to be doing the podcast on the road.
Wow. That's awesome. Super fun.
Thank,
Yeah.
thank you, Sheena. I appreciate you so
Thank you,
much, and I
Garry.
really, really appreciate you helping out with Austin. You made Austin seamless for us, and it was super important, and it was the right amount of magic at the right amount of time.
Happy to help. Thank you so much for this live. Blessings in your travel, and we'll connect soon.
Yeah. You guys, you're asking where I am. I'm at Katarina Resort. It's an hour and a half outside of Prague, and it's a wellness resort. And this place, it's got its own. I'll walk you around here. I will take you guys for a ride because they've got like a Stonehenge here. They've got ponds and they've got horseback riding and just everything. We're here. A part of it, I realized after New York that I was getting a little bit worn out because we were in between the events. We were seeing people every day. And by the way, there's like fish in the pond here. Let me show you. We got fish here. We got, where's that fishy? There he is. Look at that. There's Lisa. Is that cool or what? Yeah, this place is, I mean, listen, we've been traveling. We left your time. We left at this time yesterday, and we just got here 2 hours ago. I got 2 hours of sleep before live. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do a live on Wednesday. No problem. I can make that because we're traveling on Tuesday, forgetting that basically this was Wednesday. So we got in here and I'm like, holy smokes. I'll get Lisa to put the link for this place in the comments so you can check it out. But you can check out, it's Katarina, something, Resort Katarina outside of Prague. It is unbelievable. You have to see this place. Ayurvedic. And it's an Ayurvedic center. And what we're doing here is we decided to not stay in Prague. Being in nature is super important to us. So Prague's an hour and 45 minutes. So we go into Prague when we need to go into Prague. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys in Prague. If you haven't got your tickets yet, can you guys all do me a favor? Can you, if you know people in Prague, we were late on the marketing for Prague and it's all going out right now. But if you could let anybody know that's in the area that we're here. Now, we don't have any problem in Dublin, Ireland. We actually sold out and we're actually expanding the space. So we're going to make a place 3 times as big because of what's happening over there. But right now in Prague, we could use little hands and we help. And we also have a hands-on training coming up. Hands-on training is this Saturday in Bratislava, which we'll be driving out to. I'm supposed to be on now with
Ageless and Joyous, Danielle.
it's called what?
Ageless and Joyous.
Oh yeah, okay, got it. Awesome. So coming in, yeah, Prague's gonna be amazing, guys.
Hey, Garry.
Hey, Daniella, how
Hi,
are
little
you?
brother. You're in
Hey, you
my
know what's
old country
funny?
now.
Yeah, yeah, I'm in
What?
your old country now. You are Czech.
I'm in I'm in Bratislava now. I'll see you on Saturday. Or before. I don't
Oh
know when
yeah.
you're getting here.
Hey, 1 second. Do you think that's my internet? Going in now? Might be. Hold on 1 second, okay? I'm gonna try.
Sure.
Am I coming across good?
Good enough. Almost good. Actually, it's pretty good enough.
That's getting better?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I decided to come and check it out.
How do you like it?
CGBCH. No, it's so far it's really, really beautiful. I mean, this is the 50th parallel, so it's where we are for our home base is in Vancouver, Canada. So the topography, the forest, the nature is very much the same as it is in Vancouver. It looks like I'm in Vancouver actually, with castles.
You are going in service.
Right,
I am.
lots of castles.
Hey, hold on one second. Okay, here I'm back. I'm back on this one here. I've changed back
Okay,
to regular self-service. How's that coming in?
Now you're frozen.
Oh, just give it a second.
Yeah.
It's delayed. Just give us 1 second. We're just working on some technical issues there, Daniela. Thank you, everybody.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. We'll continue like this, and everybody, if I'm going to try and find another place that's a little bit better, too, as well. This is the first time, like literally, we got here 2 hours ago. So Daniela,
Wow.
tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
When's your birthday?
August 23rd, and just at 2:30 a.m. So I just made it to be a 29-degree Leo.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm a 29er like you. I live in Toronto now, but yeah.
Yeah, I said you live in Toronto, but you're also a fascial maneuvers coach and host.
And host, yeah, facilitator. I am from Bratislava originally, so I'm back in my country here after 30 years. I was 2 years here 30 years ago, but we really left when I was little. I was born here, and I lived here for 7 years. Yeah, so now I'm in Toronto, and we have meetings. We've had meetings in my home until I left on my trip. This is a month-long trip, so a very interesting trip. We've been holding meetings since August 1st, and we have a beautiful group of people in Toronto. I'm so happy that we are starting official classes in the middle of in the kind of Midtown Toronto, Eglinton and Yonge, for those who know, twice a week. So we're expecting lots more people to join. It's Thursday nights and Sunday morning, and I believe it's going to grow very, very fast. In my house, it's more like 10 to 16 people, but I'm not so convenient. I'm just a little bit, a few blocks north of Toronto, but this is going to be a central location, easy to get to, and by public transport as well. Yeah. So we're very, very excited. It's starting.
Yeah, that's going to make a big difference for you. So what have you noticed since you started doing classes in Toronto? Because you guys just started up, and we're actually going to be supporting you guys now by putting you up on the website. There'll be products that are available to people there, all kinds of stuff that's coming soon. So what have you noticed that's changed in you and your local community by starting classes there?
So for example, I found you already in November 2022. And, but I was doing yoga and other things, and I was moving. So in earnest, I started beginning of July 1st, I started. And, by August 1st, I was already collaborating with, doing fascial maneuvers with Lori and, Luis Buddha. That's when I really saw a big difference. But toward like a few weeks later, there was a person who told me that she's starting to feel like she's going into her darkness again. She keeps, sometimes going into depression. And I told her, come tomorrow night to our meeting. And she came and started doing this, and she pulled through, and she's doing great. And the other thing that I found for myself was people came that same day. I think it was my birthday party. And they said, what's going on with you? You're glowing, like, what are you doing? So that's what that was for me. And I was already living very healthily. I'm a health practitioner, and like really live it, But this, somehow you pulled it through together in a beautiful package, and that whole hydration piece and everything. And then the perception changed. For me, that's the biggest thing, I think, that a change in perception, how it changes how we feel, what our body does, how we self-heal. I saw it with my hairline fracture that you witnessed and helped me out a little bit in Cancun. How within days I was dancing barefoot.
Why don't you tell everybody about that? That's an interesting one.
Yeah, that was very cool because so we were there for our graduation, the facilitators and the coaches, in February, and we were working on each other, and you're kind of doing the rounds, and you looked at me and you go, gallbladder, resentment. And I'm like, whatever, I'm in bliss. I was in bliss the whole time there. And, but I know on the back burner, there was like in the past, right? To that point. And then 2 days later, I knocked my little toe, the pinky toe, against the couch foot, and it started swelling up. And at some point later on in the day, I couldn't put my foot down anymore. And you saw me with my foot up, and it was exactly on the meridian of the gallbladder. And I was thinking, oh no, I'm not going to be able to dance for 6 weeks because I've done this before. You know, I know already what's coming, and I teach dance, and I'm a dancer at heart, and I like to just dance every day. And you said to me, it's the gallbladder meridian and the resentment, and you are already in a new story in a different place, and this had to leave the body. So there are no coincidences, accidents, or whatever we call disease, illness, whatever. They are not coincidences, and the body, you know, fascia, aura, creates a situation for us to be able to process whatever that is, to switch, to go into the next level of who we are. And so here I was in the next stage, and this had to leave. So you made me feel good about it immediately, like only for like a split second was I thinking I won't dance. And you said, no, this is a great thing, and let people help you, and I think it's going to heal fast. And you pulled on the tissues a bit, and you worked up all the way up to my stomach. You guys pulled my left leg, the other one. I don't know what you did exactly. And it was still, I couldn't walk. It was in the evening, and I was carried across, you know, the whole front yard, all the way through the house to the bed. I couldn't walk. By the morning, I could put my foot down, and by the afternoon, I could walk without shoes, barefoot. And I flew back that night. Didn't need a wheelchair. And 3 days later, I had a dance party in my house, and I was dancing barefoot. And
you know,
so that's
it's because a hairline fracture. The only reason why there's pain is because there's so much compression around the fracture. If you loosen it up, the hairline fracture can move properly, and that's how it actually heals. It's supposed to have micro movements in order for it to develop, to lay down new calcium. And you know, what we're taught is like, walk it up, don't move it. And that's completely the wrong thing. It's the first thing you want to do is move.
Yes. And you know, so interesting, because my daughter's friend had the same thing happen on the same side, even before me. And then I saw her, like, I don't remember what it was, 5-6 weeks later. And she said she still only can wear one of two shoes that are holding her foot together, right? The opposite of what you just said. She was always keeping it tight, and so it wasn't healing. Yeah.
So what happens is we keep the foot tight if you have a crack or hairline fracture, and that tightness over time, that you get used to walking with it, but never fully recovers. Then you take the shoe off, and the body starts to spread out. Well, now that crack starts to actually spread open and create pain. So it never quite heals, because it needs circulation and fluid to heal it. And so it's the complete opposite. And that's why, you know, I've been getting a lot of messages from people that have healed their own breaks in their body recently, because of what we did with Barefooted Sprinter last year around this time. Well, it was actually around August, but close to it. So, so a couple quick questions. First of all, we've got this practitioner workshop coming in Bratislava this weekend. And what would you tell somebody who's looking at doing this? Now we're let anybody who is practicing with people. You don't have to be a doctor. We're not looking for a certification. We're looking for people who already work with, touch, or instruct the human body. Because if you don't do that, you're gonna fall behind really quickly. But what, from spending time with us and having in-person instruction, what has that done for you?
Well, I have seen in our group that come to my house, we have massage therapist, we have Carol Buddha, who's a trainer. So we have and we have Gabriel, who's a trainer. People who understand the body, and then we have people who don't know much at all, and we start working with each other with the principles that are really simple to grasp. You know, the most important thing is to work on ourselves. And you have everything out there in your videos and on YouTube, and it's all free, it's so accessible, and you really have to just do it. Don't just watch it. Actually do it, and you will feel the difference. Maybe the first time you do a totally twisted, it doesn't feel great. I didn't like it so much at first, but then it starts, maybe it's kind of pull through something, and then it feels great. Or you'll find other things that make you feel very, very good and shift you. So you start to notice it from within. It's simple to follow. And then we started to do partner maneuvers, and it really brought us to a whole other level. Once you were already familiar with doing it on yourself. And now we are at a stage that we are inventing movements where we support each other. Sometimes we have 3, 4, 5 people working on one that are really creative, that feel great. Many of these people have no background. And you just can't go wrong. Because once you understand the principles,
they're learning
very, very
quick,
fast.
and they're able to affect people very, 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 very quickly, even without having a practitioner background.
Yeah, you get the results. You feel it sliding, you feel it popping, whatever it is, and emotional releases. So it's working. And the other part is the community. So if they go to the practitioner training, then I really encourage them to find other people and to keep practicing with each other. If they're coming from somewhere where no people know you yet, well, it's so easy. You have all the videos, they can follow it together, and you can easily form a group. You don't need too many, even if you're 2 or 3 people, and you can keep, learning more, and the power of the community. Doing it in a group makes it much more impactful, and the community, I feel like we're going into our second story now, right? It's about community, it's about connection. I feel that a lot of us are finding each other, and it's tremendous power to that. We're like igniting each other, on the way. So yeah, go there, come on Saturday. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to feel it, and you'll find a new community.
Yeah. So we've resisted, by the way, we've resisted up to this point to doing practitioner training. And actually we're doing our first one outside of the United States, which is interesting. And the reason why we're doing it this way is that we wanted people to become self-reliant first. And if we're self-reliant, if I know how to help soothe myself, I'll do that. But if I always go to somebody else, then when I have a problem, I'm always going to want to go to somebody else. And that's a system of human function. And so what we found is that it was much better to teach people, and even ourselves. We stopped working on each other for 2 years so that we could make sure that we understood implicitly how to get ourselves out of issues.
Yeah, and I love that so much, because you made that very clear with the resets and all the groups and so on, that we have that magical power within ourselves that we can ignite. And with that comes such confidence in life, because a lot of people are kind of living anxiously. What's going to happen next? I'm getting older or whatever. I'm going to be dependent and I can't do this anymore. I can't start a new business or whatever it is, scared. And now we're not scared. And if the body is throwing something at us, like a swelling of something, it's like we trusted that it's a process, that it's actually bringing us to the next level. So we kind of view it in a different light.
It's kind of funny because we've made detoxing cool. That's what I like to say to people.
Yes.
We've made what the body does while it's healing. We've made it okay to talk about and made it cool, because I get like I got, what's funny is I got some, I don't know if you can see it, some bumps that came up here and right in here with white bumps and white bumps at the same time. And it's my large intestine. It's another layer that's coming off of me. And it's so cool because it comes up. I'll have a rash or something like that, and it goes away. And this is unwinding 5 decades worth of trauma. And for those of you guys who are a little bit more metaphysical, more than 5 decades. It's unwinding trauma from other lifetimes, I believe. And
collective, I think there's.
Go ahead.
I think the collective, we're also some of the collective is coming through us, and our ancestry, so maybe our past lives, but also through the DNA, our ancestry as well. Who knows what it is.
Yeah.
It's just coming through, right? And so it's just having that relationship that is positive towards that. I was I'm on that month-long trip. That is a whole interesting part to my life that I didn't know was coming. But last week was a trip to Poland that I would never have chosen on my own to do. My father is a Holocaust survivor, and he went as a representative on a organized tour of concentration camps and horrendous places, right? So on the first day when we got there, we're on the bus. We haven't seen anything yet. I started with a sore throat. I haven't done that in a year and a half. And then it became a cold, and I'm coughing, like the whole detox right away on that trip, right? I mean, couldn't be any better.
And for you, it's about speaking the truth of your heart. I already know you well enough.
Yeah.
It's about
Yeah.
speaking the truth of your heart. So that's what was coming up there.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in Rome with Brenda the week before. I introduced her to embodiment through dance through my teacher, Amara Pagano. We did a 2.5-day workshop, and just came off of it totally blissed and high, and had an amazing time with Brenda. And and the next day I'm on that bus, and there it starts. Here we go. Next thing now.
And you're doing. I turned because the fish are jumping. And you're doing an in-person retreat sometime right after the event.
Yes.
Right?
So I actually prepared 2 retreats because when I knew that you're coming to Prague, you were hoping to have a lot of people there, and I thought it would be great to prepare for that in advance. Speaking of detoxing and the juices from before, right? So this is in a spa town, and with drinking organic juices and smoothies and salads, and going into these hot mineralized pools, and doing maneuvers and Spartan maneuvers in the hot water, and then going with a blanket and sweating. And it's in Trenčanske Teplice. It's a spa town, and it's by a forest and across a lake. It's in nature where we would be staying, and then the spa is not far from there. And the whole idea was to detox, then come to Prague, get our incredible processing in Prague. And as you say, it really pushes a lot of things out. And then another retreat after that in Moravia, in the Czech part, where it's a retreat center also in beautiful. They're all hilly, green areas, beautiful areas, doing different processes as well. To I call it Phoenix Rising, because it's our new story, our second story. This is the time. So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How do people find out?
I thought it would be great to help people.
First of all,
so they can.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they can DM me here on Ageless and Joyous, or I also on my Instagram I also put I put the what do you call it, the ads about it, whatever, the video and the information as well. And it's also on your app under workshops and retreats.
Cool. So
I can also, I'm going to type in my email so they can email me as well. Yeah.
Okay. And but the
there
easiest way
it
is to follow your account, and because they can get you from there. So one of the things is you've been a coach working with people both in person and online for a couple of years now, and you have a long history of teaching. So this is something that if somebody's looking for, if you want to reset in your life and your body, and you want to do it in Czech Republic or in Slovakia, I guess.
The Slovakia is near the border.
Yeah,
it's on the Czech border in Slovakia. Yeah, it's an hour and a half from Bratislava.
And it's mineral springs, it's smoothies and juices, it's fascial maneuvers. And
fascial maneuvers, and it's embodiment through dance, because I know you also see the value in it. You've said how we used to dance at the end of the day around the fire, right? Yeah. When I introduced Brenda to this, she said, this is the missing piece. I said, I know. I've been wanting to bring this through the app as well, like I do the process, like I do the calls on Thursday, I wanted to do another one for this because we're moving a lot of things out of the body, emotionally as well. And when we are doing the embodiment through dance, it overlaps with the fascial maneuvers. It's a lot of like more spiraling and allowing the body to move the way it wants to, following, we have a certain focus as we do it, and it moves a lot of energy and clears a lot of stuck trauma and stress out of the body as well. So it kind of like speeds up already what you're already doing so quickly, like even more, and it's
so
pleasurable.
let's do something for you. Put your right hand on your heart. Can you do that, or you hold it?
Thank you. I can do that. It's been quite a trip, so yes, thank you.
Left hand on your throat.
Oh, that I have to put
Everybody
down somehow. Okay, I'm gonna do it like somehow like this. Okay.
Okay, breathe in through your mouth. 2, 3. Breathe in the color green through your mouth 3 times. 2. So breathing green all the way into your body. 3. Breathe in through your nose 3 times to your left hand on your neck. 2, 3. Breathe in blue through your left hand. Breathe in. 2, 3. Say, I'm ready to speak the truth from my heart.
I'm ready to speak my truth from my heart.
To follow the direction of my heart's desire.
To follow the direction of my heart's desire.
Okay, put your left hand on your head, right hand on your heart, breathe in. 2, 3. Through the nose. 2, 3. I'm ready to stop telling stories and follow my heart.
I'm ready to stop telling stories and follow my heart.
Okay. How do you feel?
Lighter, quieter,
Quieter.
more settled, more settled.
Yeah. Yeah, for you, whatever's coming up, I mean, I believe that, like, I'm going back, this journey, this world tour is actually just, there's not my life, it's my other lives, where I'm going back in the karmic drive-bys. I'm going back to places in the earth where there is significant karma. I mean, my second long-term relationship was with a Czech girl. Actually reconnecting with her when I'm out here as well.
And it's funny,
and that's
it's the same.
Yeah. Well then, Daniella, we're getting a little bit bumpy in the connection again. So, so people can follow you. We'll put it back in the chat if they want to go to a retreat with you. How long is the retreat? How many days?
3 or 4 days, depend on which one. So
okay.
if they message me, I'll send them all the information.
Okay. Thank you, Daniella. I appreciate all the support you give to the team and
Thank
all
you.
to our community.
When am I going to see you? Are you coming in on Friday or Saturday?
I have no idea yet. I'm the wrong person to ask. I just show up and do what I do every day. Not in charge of those things. Okay.
Okay. I'll figure it out. Okay.
Okay.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Garry.
Yeah. if you guys, if you want, and if you want to get on a plane and come to Bratislava and come to the in-person training, it's going to be transformative. What we're going to be actually doing is, for the first time ever, we're teaching the core basics. We're going to be working in 3 stations. One where it's on a table, where we teach people to put their hands on other people on a table. And you saw me even doing that with Shane and Gabby, even for pregnancy. And then the next one will be standing, walking, the hands-on. It's the partner maneuver series that you see. We're going to be teaching the intricacies of that. And then the third one is why we do it, how we make decisions, analysis and stuff like that. So that whole workshop is going to be, roughly about 6 hours. And it's a super intensive way to learn, because you get to feel in your body. Everybody there gets to touch somebody else, gets to assist somebody else, and gets to be touched at the same time. That's why it's super important. How's the signal right now?
There is a better spot down at the other end of that, in the big grassy area.
Okay, I'm going to move as we...
I think it's going to be better down
Here. There, I'm going to move everybody. And I'll show you what I'm doing as I'm moving. So this is a little walkway that goes right all the way over. Right. And this is pretty cool. This is the hotel. And we're going to go way over here. See if I get a better signal over here. Check this out over here. Come on. Look at that statue. You see that? Here. There's another lake or pond here I'm going to be getting in later on. Look at this place. Come on, it's just so beautiful, right? Here, I'm going to pull back here. What is it? Look at the little lilies. Wow. So it peeing out of my head. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like after these first 3 events, I was actually needing a little bit of time myself. So this is super perfect for us. Okay, we're going to be talking to Jules Horn now. Oh, Jim Curtis is here too.
Oh yeah, we'll be on after Jules.
Okay, hey Jim, we're going to see you in a bit. I don't see Jules here yet. Looking forward to talking to you, Jim. Catching up. It's been a while. Hey, Jules.
Hello.
How are you
Hey, how are you?
doing?
Fantastic.
Hey,
Like
Lisa, what's the
really good.
download speed here? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you pretty well actually. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you okay. Just checking out download speeds here. We've been trying to find out where we do it around the property here. And since I only had 2 hours to sleep and get ready after 20 hours
Yeah.
of travel.
Oh,
Better than it was over there.
Okay, I'm going to go. Hold on one second. I'm going to put us. Okay,
yeah.
that might be a
Now you're back.
little bit better.
Yeah. I saw you guys went actually through Germany through Frankfurt.
Yes. And I mean, you are German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. See,
So
touched the motherland.
So, by the way, I got to tell you that we have all the housewives of all the various different, housewives of Orange County, housewives of all these different places. They're all
Yeah.
commenting on your post, by the way. I just have to let you know that.
Well, thank you. It's been, I don't know, like I can't tell you often enough how grateful I am. I mean, this journey has been nothing than like a life transformation in a profound way, and I get since we work together, I get so emotional always. Like I could start crying right now out of joy and out of gratitude, you know, because the people are reaching out to me every day, and like the community is growing every single day, you know. And I just feel I wake up every morning, and I said I did this Instagram live this morning because I wanted to start doing Instagram lives on my channel as well for like the community, doing like my morning routine. And I don't really pay attention anymore what day it is because time is like doesn't really matter. I wake up every morning and I feel so grateful to be alive and to be able to do what I'm doing, and you know, to be part of this community and just to share the knowledge and what I'm learning, and like just to work with people, you know. And yeah, I don't know, it's just it's the best time in my life thus far, and I know it's just going to get better and better because I really feel I'm living in my purpose and I'm doing things from my heart, you know. And one thing I stuck with me forever, what you said, and I repeat it to myself every day and to everyone I talk to, is that we stop thinking and live, act out of your heart and feel more. If we really do that, all of a sudden, like everything falls into place, you know.
So, so people who don't know you yet, I mean, you're starting to show up on our Instagram channel a little bit. Tell a little bit about your story, how you got
So,
here, what happened.
so basically, I'm German. I came to the States 2016. It's been 8 years now, and I came to the States to mainly model. I still model, and but my main focus shifted to health and wellness over the last years. And then basically, I was always abusing my body with extreme diets, with extreme workouts, extreme training, everything extreme. It was like my second name. And eventually, what happened, you know, everything works for a while and then everything extreme breaks again. It works, then it breaks. So it's like this up and down. And I never really felt really home in my body, meaning was a big void within myself on an emotional level, which I tried to avoid with seeking things on the outside, like getting obsessed with things on the outside. Because the thing is, in my mind, because I was only in my thinking mind, was controlling the outside. Therefore, I was like, okay, now I'm in control. Now I'm happy, you know. So this is like my path for the last like 10 years, pretty much. And I worked with people one on one. Like I tried to do like I did nutrition coaching, personal training, all those things. And then I realized also for some people it would work, and other people doesn't. And fast forward, like about 3 months ago, I really hurt my lower back terribly. And the only thing I came across Human Garage like last year in October, did it for a little bit. When I started it first, I came from a place of, oh, I was seeking the outcome rather than showing the process. So it's like, okay, if I do this, I'm going to feel better. Same thing, I tried to control the outside. Then I fell off again. And then, as I said, 3 months ago, I really injured myself. And I was like, my intuition was telling me the only thing that's going to help you is like doing those fascial maneuvers. So I started the fascial maneuvers on my own. Then we connected. You connected me to Arda. I met Arda the same week in Westlake. And from there on, everything changed. Like everything, my entire life changed. Like I started doing the maneuvers every day, not because I wanted to experience a certain outcome. I did it to feel better
Yeah,
in the moment. And I was
yeah.
present. I started being present. And then the more we talked, the more I started doing those things on myself. Then Art and I, we started the meetup in LA. It's been like almost 2 months now where we do it every week. And the more I do the work on myself, the more I'm in my body, the more I'm listening to my heart. Everything shifted. And I always say to people, it's not just the physical body. For me, the way I speak, the way I deal with people, the way I handle situations, everything is different because I'm coming from a place of care and love and non-judgmental. I'm very non-judgmental, you know. Even if I get into an argument with my partner, like I step back and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to understand her rather me acting out of like fear or like triggers, things come up from my childhood, you know. So yeah, now every day, like you see it, like I just I've been creating content every day to just share the word and like help other people, because as you said, and I feel the same way. Everyone deserves to feel the way I feel every day, and I just want to help other people to get out of this like worrying mind. Like everyone is like worrying about what's happening tomorrow. What am I gonna eat tonight? Like what am I doing tomorrow? Oh, my financial situation is not great. I need to change. And we're in a constant fight or flight mode, and therefore our body doesn't even have ever the chance to repair or like to recover, because we hyperventilate constantly. Our racing mind goes 90 miles an hour, and if I have a person like this just sitting down for a minute and doing nothing, that's like, it's like punishment to them, you know.
Right.
And what I really realized now, and you said it, and it made so much sense, it's like that everyone has a superpower, you know, but we're not able, most people aren't able to find that because they don't live in the heart. And I truly believe, and I don't like sound corny or anything, but I speak from whatever comes through me, that my superpower is to heal other people and to help other people on like a really deep level. Like I started doing like virtual things with people who reach out to me, you know, Gary. I was like, I I'm just listening to those people, like whether it's woman, man, doesn't matter. I'm listening the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, observing. And then I tell them, I say, because I say I'm not a therapist or anything by any means. I say anything that comes out of my mouth, I'm just like channeling. And it's like, I don't think, I just feel and I let it out. You know, I speak from my heart. And then I touch those people on a level, and I understand them, and I tell them things they need to hear in that moment. And most of the time it gets very emotional, and people release a lot of emotions and tears are shedding, you know. And we do some like maneuvers virtually, which, as you told me as well, it's like you can hold space anywhere in the world if you're able
Yeah.
to tap into that energy. I can channel from here to Germany, and the person will feel that.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a bit my story. And I just, as I said, I'm beyond grateful to just found that
So
path. And
so for people who want to know, when's your birthday?
January 1st.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I believe you're 8th degree Capricorn, right? So
I'm not 100% sure.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
pulled
I'm
your
born in,
chart. I'm
yeah.
going to spend some time telling you about it because you're a
Okay.
Grandmaster Capricorn. So that
Okay.
means that especially right now and where the world's at, like my midheaven is 7 degrees Capricorn. So I'm becoming Capricorns are the karmic spiritual teachers, and you're a Grandmaster at that, teaching karma. I'm becoming a 7 degree Capricorn. That's my midheaven. That's what I'm becoming in my life. So what's interesting for me is I watch how you're approaching the world right now, and it's giving me an indication of how I show up or how I look in the world, because I can see how you are and how committed you are to just wanting to help people. And
Thank you.
it's a weird feeling because, before I was committed to, helping people, but I was also committed to all these other things first,
Yeah.
and business, money, and all these other things. And this somewhere along the line, it just switched for me. And I see you doing that right now.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really how I feel. You know, I used to, okay, I need to make this amount of money to do X, Y, and Z. But all of a sudden, like, for example, the last 10 years since I've been modeling, the biggest thing as for a male model is to get a big fragrance contract. That's like, okay, then you made it, in a sense. So I've been chasing that. Was chasing that for 10 years. And I said yesterday to Kate, to my partner, I was like, you know what? If I look at a billboard right now and see it's great to do that, and I'd be happy to shoot a fragrance campaign, but there's no attachment to me anymore, because I also know the reality is like everyone who's chasing things like that, once you get that, nothing changes. Then you chase something else, because all you're trying to do is like you want to control the future
Right.
and attach a feeling into it. And then once it's like, you know, The Alchemist, the book, what he always says, like, the journey is the destination. There's no treasure to be found at the end. And it's the same with like, if you ingrain that into your day-to-day life. So if I say, okay, if someone works in finance, oh, I need to have this position, then I'm happy. I need to have this salary, then I'm happy. It's never going to happen. You'll get there, but you'll never be happy because you don't enjoy the process. And that's why, to be really honest, in Germany, everything is so, we talked about it briefly, so so controlled. Everything is like in a box.
I just got that
So
going through the airport.
I know everything is like, you can't like, don't do anything wrong. Otherwise they like, you know,
Oh,
it's,
we flew Condor Air, Condor Air, which is a German airline. I gotta tell you the story. I'm not gonna do it now. I mean, it was bizarre how if it was like they had made so many mistakes, but because the box was you just have to go to the next box. I'm like, if we're with an American company, they'd say, hey, it's on us, just take this, right? And you know,
yeah.
they had literally screwed up our tickets, wrong things, billed us the wrong amount. We walked up to the counter, and then they called us up and they said, our till is short some money. We have to charge you more for that ticket, or we're gonna put you back. And I'm like, holy! It was just one of my German moments. By the way, it's super funny.
Yeah, it's like, it's typical, you know, and I hate to say that, but I just hope, and that's for me, I don't want to be a teacher. I want to live by example. You know, when people
Yeah,
look at me and
sure.
say, okay, I'm like, this is what I'm doing. Try it out. If it's going to help you, if not, it's also okay, you know. But the German way is like everything is here in the box. And then people live, like, work till they're 65. All they talk about is like, oh, when I'm 65, 66, I retire, then my life is going to be great. So what I've been told from childhood on, like from little on growing up, is like, okay, you basically, all you do is like you're trying to predict your future, and please never be in the present moment, because like that's the worst place you want to be. And it's the opposite. If we're in the present moment, if we live in our heart, all of a sudden things fall into place the way they should.
Yes.
And we can't control the future anyways, and we can't control the past because that already happened, and whatever happens in the future doesn't, we don't know, you know. That's why the more we do those practices, and again, like those fascial maneuvers have taught me to be present, how to be present, how I'm listening to my body when I do certain things, what's going on in my body, what's going on in my heart, you know. And if emotions come out, I mean, you saw it when we worked one-on-one together. I, like, internally, there was this block where, like, don't cry, you can't let it out. And all of a sudden, boom. It's like you open a can of worms, and all of a sudden, like, my heart is wide open, you know? And it
You
just feels
you were ready
so
for
good.
it. You were ready for it. I mean, and it was funny because it showed up in your face. Your face was completely different.
Yeah. It's like, and it's, you know, I say to people all the time, it's like I explain it that way, and I think it's very easy to understand. People only, like, you want to chase the outside. Okay, I want to have a six pack. I want to lose weight. I want to get in shape. But all those things. All they focus is on training, nutrition, and it's basically you're trying to build a house on a sandy and a rocky foundation. If the emotional body is not healed, if you're not solid
Right.
within yourself, and you don't love yourself, you can't do all those things. But eventually, it's all falling apart again because you're chasing something on the outside. That's why a lot of people get in shape and then they get completely out of shape. And then they eat well and then they fall off again because they never address the void within themselves.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, looking back now, all those people I worked with over the years and I helped, I understand now why some people resonated so much better. If someone comes from a childhood where the child was always super taken care of, was nurtured, got so much love, and like has no or very little trauma from the past, from growing up, that person is emotionally in a very different place than a person who comes to me, oh, I want to get in shape, but he's like massive childhood trauma and all those things he carries with him or her, and all that weight is on their shoulder. And if you have both people, the one person has an easier time to just like do everything better, and the body resonates more. Like, for example, right, since I've been doing this, Gary, I train less intense. I've been focusing, I eat healthy, but if I want to have something out of the ordinary, I don't obsess over it anymore. I just let it be. For example, I had a friend over 2 nights ago. We cooked, and he brought 2 beers, and I haven't had a beer in like ages. In the past, I would obsess over it in my mind, and this time I was just listening to my heart. It was like, this feels really good.
Yeah.
Building that bond. And guess what? I woke up the next day. I had the best night's sleep. I felt amazing. So all that stuff just works better. The outside world works better on myself when I fix my inside. And this is like really the biggest message I try to bring to people is like, get out of your head, get out of your racing mind, tap into your heart, feel, don't think so much.
So, so right now, I mean, you work with people one-on-one, you work with them online, you can help them with fascial maneuvers, pain their body or performance, nutrition coaching, mindset coaching, and
Yeah.
you and Arda also run a class every week. I think it's
Yeah.
Thursday at 5 p.m., right?
Yeah, exactly. Thursday, 5 p.m. in Santa Monica. If anyone is in the LA area, come by. It's on the grass of Ocean Boulevard, and right at the height of Tower 26. So the lifeguard Tower 26, right straight up. There's this big grass area, and that's where we meet
Hey,
up. And it's
what's
been
funny?
amazing.
You know what's funny
Yeah,
is that when I used to take clients out and I'd have to do movement with them from the garage, that's where I used to
yeah.
go, that exact spot.
Wow, that's amazing. See, it's like a full circle, and
Yeah.
it's been, especially since you all were here in LA. Our last event, our last meetup last week, we had really like 30 people show up, and now it's just growing because one person tells the other person tells another one, and all of a sudden, like, it's like a ripple effect, and that's what we all
Finally,
want.
LA.
Yeah, finally.
I was waiting for somebody to stand up, and you and Arda have done such a good job of bringing people in. I really, really
Thank you.
appreciate you guys for doing that.
No, thank you. Of course. I mean, look, we all just walk each other home, and if we can get each other out of pain and get each other, build a community is really what it's all about. And then touching each other and like making each other feel safe, then everything drops,
Yeah.
and we just gonna be healthier and feel better in our bodies as well.
Jules, thank you so much,
Thank
and I love your
you.
content.
Thank you.
It is funny though, because I go look at all the comments, and you've got all the housewives from all the different ones all commenting on there.
You
So I couldn't help but
know,
notice that.
in a sense, look, it's like we want to help everyone, and it doesn't matter who it is. Like we love all
Yeah,
comments,
yeah.
whatever it
You
is.
know, it's hilarious. It's really cool. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Jules. I
Thank,
appreciate you so
thank
much.
you. I
Say hi
appreciate
to
it so much.
Caitlin.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have the best day. Yeah. Thank
Okay, if you're anywhere in the Los Angeles area and you're by Santa Monica tomorrow at 5 p.m., that's Thursday, 5 p.m. Right down on the grass there, and there's there's a Tower 26, and they're in that grass area, and I think that's going to be there'll be like hundreds of people there going pretty soon. Yeah, it's right up from Venice Beach, not too far. I mean, that's where the clinic started. Now we're gonna go and what?
Didn't have to go.
Oh, okay, no problem.
It's almost 6:30. So,
Isn't that what time you're supposed to be?
yeah, I converted the time wrong.
Oh,
So
okay.
I told him an hour.
Okay, everybody. Sir Winston, 615, Sir Winston Park, Toronto. There you go. Housewives love their jewels. Yes. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was really funny to watch because I was watching. Hey, we got all these new followers with big accounts. Like 600, 700,000 people. And I'm like, oh, of course. Um, Yeah, so if you guys know anybody in the Prague area, anybody in Germany, have them come out to the Prague event. Can you please call them and let them know? Send one of our reels or send one of our stories out to them. We really appreciate it. And also, if you want anybody to do any kind of hands-on training, you guys can get it. And you do not have to be a certified practitioner. You just have to have some experience in working with people or coaching people in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, is that a drinking fountain? Actually, it is. It, it is a drinking fountain. Here, there we go. But it's female. Wow, the water out here is incredible too. This is the breast statue out here, and I have fond memories of this when I go inside. Oh, but man, this is a really really epic place, guys. I mean, super super epic. Um, Again, we will be coming live a little bit more often in different spots at different times. I'm gonna do some lives that are more appropriate to the European audience, morning time. So when I get up in the morning, so look for those. That'll be late night there for you in North America. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate you all for coming out and hanging with me for a bit. And if you haven't done it yet, go register for our world tour. We're adding new dates. We're going to be in Toronto. We're going to be in Vancouver. We're going to be in Orange County, Laguna area. We're going to be, we are going to be announcing soon that Sweden is actually the dates there already. But we are also going to be heading over to Australia. We're going to be heading over to Asia. So looking forward to seeing you guys, and just stay tuned. I'll be coming live and popping live from time to time. Take care.